Okay, perfect. So hello everyone. Welcome to my session. Thank you for joining. So by the end of today's session, we'll have an understanding of Autodesk's vision and Autodesk's extended reality strategy. Okay, so come on, let's go ahead and take a deeper dive at what solutions we have for you. So before I begin, I just want to tell you a little more about myself. My name is Viveka Devadas, a design technologist and designated specialist at Autodesk. Basically, I have a design background and I'm a construction management professional. So before joining Autodesk, I've worked across the globe in a few places around Belgium, United States, and Southeast Asia. So currently, I'm an enterprise customer support professional and I do virtual reality research projects. Some of my previous roles I've listed, I don't want to go through the entire list, but basically to let you know that I'm a designer by profession and I'm an architect, so anything to do with the world of design, that's my core. And I've also got a little bit of a teaching experience across the globe, work across the Autodesk communities, and I also do advising for the extended reality core team within Autodesk. So you can find me in a couple of conferences, mostly virtual reality conferences. And within Autodesk, I interact a lot with customers, like AECOM, Gensler, would have a global presence. So in order to understand their workflows and design requirements a little bit better. And where I'm co-located, I'm located in the beautiful city of Boston. You can see the Charles River view over there on the top right. So that's where I'm speaking to you from. And it's so wonderful to talk to all of you through this virtual channel. And a couple of my conference speaking experiences in the past and the present, I've given some links which I'll be happy to share with all of you. And one thing I wanted to point out is we do have a research team within the Autodesk family where we conduct a lot of experiences, virtual reality experiences, and projects to understand our customers' workflows. And apart from that, I also volunteer with the schools in Boston. So, why do we need to leave the younger generation? We need to educate the younger generation with what's happening in extended reality as well. So, that is very close to my heart, and I find time to engage with some of the school students as well. And that's my CEO on the right side. So, he's very always encouraging, and he's the first person to come and try out anything with the latest technology. Couple of honors and awards. So one of my projects was selected at Gaines, and I also work with an architect in Boston for a solar visualization app, which actually tells you how much of sunlight is actually coming inside a space and how that changes the living space within. So before we actually move on to the presentation, I just want to make a safe harbor statement over here that some of the statements I'm making here, it depends on the current situation and your purchase decisions need not be based on these statements, and these are bound to change as new tools and new updates come into existence. So we all know what is extended reality. It's the big umbrella which covers virtual reality, augmented reality, as well as mixed reality technologies. So extended reality is more about bringing value. I'm going to stop my video for preventing distraction so I can focus a little more better. So virtual reality is an environment where users are completely immersed in a virtual world and there is no real connection to the real world around them. In augmented reality, if you've used a Agia app or if you've used a phone or a tablet or glasses, you can interact with the real world while you're layering or adding new elements to it. And mixed reality is nothing but it's the blend between both VR and AR, or something like, AR on steroids. We are considering mixed reality as the future of augmented reality. And then when we are bringing all these together, we have our extended reality application happening right in front of your eyes. So let's take a deeper dive at what Autodesk's XR strategy exactly is. We have a lot of use cases and we have a wide portfolio. Some of our products drive efficiency, collaboration, and innovation, which fundamentally change how professionals interact with their data. So, our idea is basically to improve this data interaction inside out and make your project collaboration for every professional. So, as you see on the diagram here, all the professionals, whether they are architects, engineers, construction owners, or building owners, they can benefit from our portfolio and how we interact this two-way data sync. So moving on to our strategy basically has three components. So I'm going to pause a moment over here and focus on the three main components of our extended reality strategy. So as you can see, Autodesk has a wide portfolio, but we have partners which help us take it into the next step. Partners through Forge, how we can add value to our ecosystem. And within Autodesk, we are also we are also having a bunch of use cases. We are having rendering, advanced visualization platforms. We are enabling mainstream devices. So on a high level, to connect the strategy, we are capturing two things. We are capturing the needs and problems, and we are also connecting the extended reality solutions which could solve for our customers. And there is, of course, a lot of scope for improvement which we want to focus on, and we want to focus on value. For that, we want to leverage on partners like Unity, NVIDIA, Omniverse, etc. And then we are building a proof of concept leveraging NVIDIA Omniverse. So as I told you before, going back to the previous slide, we want to focus on all the professionals, right from architects to building owners. So right from your design phase to your maintenance phase, but we want to make this bi-directional data access in a seamless fashion where we want to make the central design and the data accessible for everyone. So a little more in detail about what happened in the past and what we are doing right now. So if you are aware of what's happening with the virtual reality world, 10 years, let's go back in time. There are a bunch of solutions and there are a lot of practices around the world, whether it's a company like SOM or NBBJ or Gensler, which has a global presence. Each firm, as you can see in the diagram, each firm is engaged with a different virtual reality experience. For example, in SOM, they use 360 renderings along with an Insight VR app, and they use it just for still images. But in firms like BRPP, they are already engaging a gaming environment to understand and analyze their building designs. And firms like Gensler, they have their own customized or they have their own in-house teams which develops these XR strategies for them. So I wanted to show this slide just to show a connection between what was and what is. So these solutions and practices are evolving. What you see on this slide is bound to change. In another 10 years, we all have untethered devices which will not be wired, and we'll just have augmented reality glasses where we will be walking in real time and understanding and experiencing the physical space. So talking about the existing solutions and practices, I wanted to specify why our products, because our products have this cross-discipline coordination, right from one of our pioneer products like AutoCAD, where you can design a DWG format and you can take it in Revit and you can do a 3D model. All these products speak to one another. And each product is so different because each product does a different thing for you. For example, in Civil 3D, you can modify or you can create a road or a bridge. In AutoCAD, you can make a landscape DWG. In SketchUp, you can make a simple mock-up. In Navisworks, you can detect clashes. And all these cross-discipline coordination among the different platforms also has a scope for you to export into other third-party programs. Like, for example, you have Rhino, which is coming from McNeil Associates, CATIA formats, Inventor formats. So based on your workflow and what your organization does, these platforms have a cross discipline coordination which can speak very well to some of our virtual reality solutions. So now moving on, having shown you what the platforms can do and the cross discipline, here on the right you can see a simple example from an architecture firm in the US on how it takes its model from Revit to a HoloBIM or a holodeck experience. So once they have the Revit model, they take it into Twin Motion or 3D Max and then give a couple of special effects in Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. So what you can see is the products have a good blend or a good merge of even third party applications, and they speak well to each other. And then they're also compatible with certain software. Of course, it comes with some limitations, but each firm has a different workflow for its specific use. So if we go back to the previous slide where I showed you the solutions and practices, and I told you this is evolving. So now, as of today, Gensler might have a definitely different workflow and for their advanced virtual reality team or their digital design practice, and they might even have a different workflow on what you see on the right. They might just have, in some architecture firms, just a one click from Revit to virtual reality through a platform like Enscape. So moving on, now that you've seen the existing solutions and practices and the data exchange formats, let's talk a little more detail about the extended reality use cases within our portfolio. So the first one, I'm going to show you 6 different use cases. So the first use case I'm going to talk about is basically viewing in XR, extended reality, which most of us are aware of, where we fully experience, understand models in a completely immersive experience. This immersive experience can be loading simple graphics data from any Autodesk software, whether it's a desktop software or a cloud based software, into a seamless one on one environment. So the next one is designing in XR. So viewing in XR, we've seen in the past years how it's evolved, but designing in XR, where you intuitively access or intuitively design in automobile VR, or you can create shapes and forms using some of our software like Create VR or VRED Professional, where you can actually tweak or modify parts of automobiles in a virtual reality experience. For that, some of our tools we have is Fusion, Maya, and Create VR, which offer a full modeling and interaction experience. For example, in VRED, we have a natural and intuitive experience which interacts with data. And what's more is it also allows for remote collaboration. So some of our automobile customers are very excited and enthusiastic with this new technology. The simple fact that they're able to collaborate remotely, especially in the time of the pandemic. So moving on to the third one, we definitely want to focus on a client's customer first. Company Autodesk is serves the customer first. So we want to make sure we have client engagement where we provide interactive and immersive ways for our customers to communicate. If you've used an IKEA app, you can see that even without going to the IKEA IKEA store, you can visualize that piece of furniture on your inside your space. So we do want to make this engagement with client two-way, where we want to bring two ends of the spectrum together, the platform and the designer together, and engage with the client to understand his needs better. So moving on to one of the most important fourth use case, which is really very close to my heart, is collaboration. Now, collaboration is a huge word, but what I want to specify here is when we are collaborating in design reviews, it means we are allowing multiple stakeholders to join and review a session in extended reality. We are not only viewing, but as you can see in the image, maybe you have an architect and a designer, and both of them are in remote locations. They're not in a physical location, but they are able to make annotations and connect issues to the Autodesk data platform. And what's more is you could also design and build, coordinate. For example, once you understand the problems when you're doing the reviews, you could also make changes and give live feedback. If a pipe is coinciding with an electrical conduit, you can track the construction and the problems in that design, and you can mark all the warnings in real time using some of our collaborative tools like BIM 360. The last one I'm going to leave you with is digital twins, which is, of course, a hot topic as of today. So, digital twins enhance the user by having a good understanding of physical assets and help manage these assets by leveraging XR. We do have a digital twin platform coming up called Tandem. You're free to explore that resource, and it is going to give you a lot of bidirectional data sync between creating a digital twin, modifying it, going back to a software like Revit, and also changing the modeling, make sure the sync is happening, and then coming back to real time and viewing that digital twin in real time, helping you to collaborate. So, in summary, what I want to leave you with is using our core tools and platforms along with the hardware applications, we can view, design, engage, collaborate, coordinate, and also manage. So, going back to one of the first slides I showed you, where we're focusing on all the people in the AEC sector, right? From the designer to the building owner who's going to maintain the building for you. So this is an image of our operating model within Autodesk, where we have a core team which comprises of UX designers, a good range of board of directors and advisors, and some of our partners. So it is very, very well set within the organization. The operating model is not, it's investigating a lot of prototypes, and it involves stakeholders from different organizations within within the firm. Some of our partners, as you can see, I've listed some of our partners here, from Enscape, which is one of the most commonly used visualization platform, Wild, which is another one of my favorite close to heart platform, which allows for real-time collaboration, and a couple of other platforms which also enable drone data to be captured into visualization and view that in augmented reality. So apart from all this, I want to leave you with some of our ongoing initiatives. We do have research teams within the organization. We have educational platforms and AEC focused collaboration systems. And we also do virtual office tests and spatial meeting systems. And as you can see, we have a few collaboration platforms within the company where we are exploring these initiatives along with our solution providers. So, since we are close to time, I'm just going to give you an overview of some of the partners we are working with, what the learning objectives are, and what the workflows are. So, basically, we have a platform like Revit, and then NVIDIA Omniverse is one of our partners, which has this nucleus which can connect with different applications for collaborating. And we do research, or we do projects which help us understand this workflow and the limitations a little more and better. And one of our key things is to live sync your models while allowing third party applications to get your changes in real time. The same with other tools like Archeo, which is an awesome tool where you can load your Revit exports, view the geometry, and improve the design review. Then we have one more partner, Unity Reflect, which also has the enablement of the Unity editor, where you can edit the model in real time and you can improve your design reviews and work on your coordination models. So I'll stop share here, and I'll go back to my